The tactics looked good on paper, but now it's time to find out if it actually works. Hey everyone, and we are back for another episode in our journey with Aparecidense here in Brazil. Last episode, we just set up the saving, we made our tactics, we looked at the squad, we saw which positions we needed, we take a look at the table, analyze it a little bit, how we might end up. Like I said, there are 3 top teams on the state competition. And now it's time to get going with some transfer news and also our first few games in the competition. So I'm gonna go ahead and start scouting and looking for players. Like we said in the last episode, we needed center backs, midfielders, and right wingers to fulfill the squad. So I'm gonna keep an eye on those positions and I'll bring any updates. Okay, so we are getting closer and closer to the start of our season. We are still in December 18th, and the transfer window only opens in January 12th here in Brazil. So we still have time to scout some players to see what are the better options for us. I so far put those players here in our shortlist. These are the players that I found that might be more interesting for us. And I already made an offer for one of them, which is Aleph, the defensive mid. And I thought he was interesting because of his career so far. So he started off at Brazil, and then he was loaned to Olympique Marseille. Then Braga in Portugal bought him. Then he went to Greece to play for AEK on a loan, back to Braga. Then he went to Hungary. So very experienced in Europe. So that was the first one that I went to try to sign. And I even did a little bit of a scouting and he had a B- score. So I think he might be, if we are able to sign him, they are all free agents. But if we are able to sign Aleph, he might be the big piece next to Du Fernandes in our lineup. For the rest of the players, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be able to sign all of them because, as I said, we don't have a big transfer budget and not a big payroll budget available. So it's all going to depend how the team is going to be financially after a possible signing of Aleph. But I'm guessing if we sign Aleph and we can't sign no one else, that's kind of going to be it for the rest of the season. But maybe I'll try to find more cheap players that I'll be able to fit into the payroll budget and hopefully increase the number of players in our lineup. So as we get closer to the day of opening the transfer window, and if we get to sign Aleph, I'll keep bringing updates and hopefully we can add more talent to our club. Okay, so a couple of days passed and I do not bring good news. So we were able to almost sign Aleph. The problem is that we did not have the money to complete the signing, and I tried talking to the board about it, and they completely shut it down. So I guess Aleph is not going to be an option. However, I did find 2 players that are going to be able to fit in our payroll, which are Escobar and Max, a center back and a midfielder. So hopefully I'm able to fit those both players into the lineup. And if not, I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do with this team because we don't have the players and we might not have talents to maintain ourselves in the 3rd division. And like, these are the only 2 signings that I'm trying to make. It's the center back and the defensive mid. And honestly, if we don't get those, we're going to be struggling a lot. And I honestly don't think we're going to be able to even handle 3rd division. So we got our first response. We had Max responding to our offer and he accepted. So let's accept that. And now we got at least a center back, one of the players. Hopefully these leave us with enough money to get Escobar as a defensive mid. Now Max accepted it and he's gonna be joining on January 11th. And nothing yet on Escobar. Is it Escobar? Escobar, the defensive mid. So here we are again, and I made a few more things. So I was looking at the scouting players that my scouting team recommended, and they recommended two players. This other defensive mid, Adilson Goiano, and I offered him a contract. And interesting one, this player from Ferroviaria, only 18 years old, showed up really good on scouting. So I made an offer. It is 0, so I don't even need to pay anything. So we'll see. I'm still doubtful how much of a salary he's gonna ask for, but I mean, he's promising, and so far, since I needed to sign free agents, I'm kind of only signing older players like 36, 35, 35. And I know that the squad I have so far is young, mostly from the reserves team, but I cannot just be signing 35 plus years old to the team and expect to be a hell of a team, you know? So I think I'm starting to find some escape into the financial problems that we have and hopefully winning some cup games and getting far in the third division or in the state competition will give us even more money for next seasons. Otherwise, it's gonna be a struggle every time. So right away we have Mateus Cantarelli, the kid from Ferroviaria, accepting it. He do have other clubs interested. So let's see if we can make a good negotiation here. Okay. I was able to make an offer that he would accept. I don't know if this is gonna fit in the budget, but let's finalize this deal. Meanwhile, while we try to solve our things with Cantarelli, Escobar, the defensive mid, just accepted the offer. We are all good to sign him, so second signing for the team. We got so far Max, the center back, and now Escobar, the defensive mid. So far, that's it. We got two players. That's probably a good thing to have with the payroll that we were given. But still waiting on Adus Ueno and Matheus Cantarelli. Probably not gonna happen, but a man can dream. Okay, now we got another response. Adilson Goiano now responded and accepted our offer. He is a defensive mid, another defensive mid, so probably the last one I'm gonna sign. So now we have 4. And Mal accepting this deal, he probably gonna, yeah, he's gonna sign in January 11th with all the other players. So far we got 3 players. We got 2 defensive mids. We got 1 center back, and I think that was it so far. And now we saw, yeah, Matheus Cantarelli accepted an offer from another club, which does not surprise me. 3 signings made. We got 2 defensive mids and 1 center back. I believe this makes our squad planner a little bit better. Yeah. So we are gold in our midfield right now. And center back, could be better, but best that I can do right now. And I'm gonna try now to focus on the right wing. It's the only place we need. We have again on the wing on the wing we have 3 players for 2 positions. So either a left or a right would work. But I kind of want to sign like the main right winger since Igor Torres is going to play on the left. But I guess I'll have to see what I can find. Okay, so we are finally into the day that the transfer window opens. And here it is, our three signings so far. And honestly, good reactions from the fans. They are all pleased that we signed players of this caliber. So honestly, signing those players completely out in the dark. We got two midfielders and a center back, still looking for a winger. So I think we already made our squad so much better now. Now that we have the players, let me take a look at the squad. Not the squad, the tactics, and see where can I fit them. Okay. So I'm guessing from the three transfers we made, Adilson Goiano is gonna be the only one to go into the lineup, and we're gonna see from there. But this is gonna be most likely, if I'm not able to sign a winger until then, this is gonna be the lineup for our first match. And believe I forgot to show in the first episode those little things. I didn't make much of changes here. I just put pass into space, and that's pretty much it. I did not switch much because honestly, I kind of want to have a first look at how the team is gonna play and how the team is gonna perform in the first match, then start making some changes, which hopefully they do well because the first few matches, from what I looked, they are not as tough. If we go to schedule, the first 3 games at least are against teams that we could beat or at least tie. But it's all gonna depend if the tactics are working. But let's see. Alright, so right before the game, I was able to get finally our right winger, Iago Santos. I was negotiating with him, another free agent, and was able to get him. So now I believe we should be good. And now I forgot, we have to confirm the signing first. But yeah, here it is. We got to sign our right wing, which makes now all the signings that I was looking at the squad that we needed to do done. I believe we should be good to go for the matches and the competitions that we have to play. No more signings to look at until someone leaves the club and he receives an offer, but that is a conversation for another day, I guess. All right, it's finally match day. We are playing Anápolis away for the first round of the state competition of Goiás. And I saw some players that are not that well on the fitness test. I'm gonna keep them right there. I believe I kind of changed my mind. I know I said that I was gonna start with Guilherme Nunes, but I think Du Fernandes might be the guy to go because I remember saying that he should be our main player, so I'm gonna give him a chance. And probably he's gonna stay here because our right winger that we got is injured. No need to rush him into the lineup yet. But that's pretty much it. I think it's a pretty balanced team on 3 stars, and besides Igor Torres. So let's go for the first match. Okay, and we are on with the match. Anápolis started with the ball. So I put the highlights on, extended highlights, because I wanted to see how the team performed in more chances. And for the video, I'm just gonna be clipping around the best moments, but just for me to take a look real quick on what is good for our team so far. And if I had to switch something. I already put the table on the side there so we can go following how we go on the table according to the results. And something that I wanted to mention about the city competitions, because it's something that differs from everywhere around the world, is that even though a lot of people complain about them, I believe it's really nice to see, especially if you are a fan of a bigger club. because you get to play against those teams that are small. Sometimes they don't have a division, and for these clubs, it's kind of huge to get a chance to play teams. Oh, let's see that. Alan James. Oh, the keeper saved. Let's see the corner. I don't believe I have a majestic set piece tactic, but hopefully the Robert crossing it in. They take it away. Okay, Matheus Lagoa coming in. Our defense is back. But yeah, for the small teams, I believe it's a good thing because they get the opportunity to play against big clubs. So if you think about Rio, we have small teams just playing Flamengo and Fluminense. And also it gives you a chance to win a trophy really early on before the league starts. So if you get to a state that is smaller and maybe the biggest club of the state is a third division team. Was that a goal? No. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. So yeah, if you think about it, like third division teams that are the biggest team in their state, you can already have like a big title of the state competition right early on and create a very good story with your manager. And I think that's like the small detail of the state competition that just makes it more interesting, I guess. So we are on to the second half. Not much happened at that first half besides me talking. And let's see if we can get a chance now. Alan James, please. Oh, let's see the ball. Alan James and a goal. Let's go. Alan James. I believe there was a mistake by the center back there, but I don't care. We scored a goal, first goal of the season. Alan James, really good pass from Pablo Henrique. Yeah, right there. Oh, the ball kind of hit him. What a shot too from Alan James. First goal of the season. 1-0 to start the season with the right foot so far. With Football Manager, we're never sure. Okay, we do have another highlight here now. It's been a pretty boring game, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see if we can see more of the passing the ball around of the team. Ooh, what a pass. Alan James, can he do it again? Keeper again. At least we're finding out the passes to Alan James. He just needs to finish better. Let's see this corner right here. If he is into the box. Yeah. Like I said, nothing exceptional into set pieces. Not Arsenal. We do have another corner right here. Again with Rodriguez. Let's see if we can take advantage. Crossing it in. And goal. Let's go. Mauricio. Pretty sure it's the center back. I still need to figure out the names of all the players. I'll get ahead of it. I promise. I don't promise by which episode though, but at one point in the season I will know the names of the players. Knowing how this game operates, it's fully capable of making Annapolis score twice still. So I just wait until the end of the match because Football Manager can bring everything. Nothing is impossible. Okay, we do have the ball. 92nd minute. Who did they pass the ball to? Not to the... Why our player just passed the ball to the referee? The color of the uniform is not even that close. You're wearing white. The ref is green. And that was it. End of game. 2-0 for our first match. Good score. Good game. I mean, kind of boring one, but I know I had 12 shots, but not a lot of them were big chances or on target. But a good win to start the season. Nothing to complain here. Alright, so first game is over. We won 2-0 over Annapolis, and we are now 4th in the state competition. And I know it's pretty early on to the first game, Let me check how many games. I think it's, yeah, 11 games. We only play each team once, so getting first win, never bad. I do think there are some things to work on the lineup, of course. Alan James, our striker, missed a lot of chances, and Annapolis is not as strong of a team. So thinking about the other teams that we're gonna face in this state competition and later on the season in the third division, we needed to be scoring those chances if we want to keep winning games. But I think a good takeout for this game is the set piece goal, which means that I think the set piece is not as bad, and we do have players that can score off of it. But with that being said, I was thinking of making this episode with 2 games, but because of all the transfer talk and preseason time to get to the first match, and also the conversations into the first match, I I believe I might just stop right here after the first match. Don't want to keep the episode too long, but probably for the future, especially once we get rid of the transfer window, I believe I'm gonna be able to fit 2 games into one episode. You guys can leave it in the comments what you guys prefer. I'm open to suggestions. If you guys prefer one match per episode, or just be able to fit 2 matches into one episode to make it more quick and pace it more into the season. Just right now, and I'm gonna be reading those comments to the suggestions you guys made. So for the next episode, we're just gonna keep going with our journey here in the state competition. If you are enjoying this journey so far and want to keep following, leave a like, subscribe. I'm the Virtual Gaffer, and I'll catch you next time.